Well, hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of What's the Right Shot? That's right, for the third day in a row, we are featuring legendary Larry Turville. And this is not so much what do you think's the right shot as opposed to something I want to point out to you in terms of technique on this forehand that Larry's about to get set to unload on. Now, let's say this is what's the right shot, right? You can see the ball. It is right there, okay? Get in mind right now what shot you think you would play in this situation based on where the ball is, relatively short ball, right? But it's not really a clear, obvious approach shot, but it's from inside the baseline. So Larry's got shot choices here, right? I mean, this doesn't look like a dropper, I'll give you that, but it looks like he could drive this cross court. He could go back up the middle. He could go down the line. I mean, he could go to his right with this shot, no problem. So have that shot in mind that you would play if you're Larry in this situation. And what I want to do is go back and let's start the point over again. Because technique-wise, there is something that Larry does that a lot of us get in trouble with. And I want you to think about it the next time you're out in the court, and that's going to be spacing. And I don't mean just a little bit of spacing, right? So in terms of, and we all know what spacing is, right? It's you with your feet creating that spatial distance away from the path of the incoming ball, so that at contact you get some swing freedom. And if you look at Larry's point of contact here, I mean, this is probably further away from your side. I know he's a tall guy, so it's all relative. Let's just accept that. But in terms of his spatial distance away from contact, he's not cramped up. I mean, he doesn't have the elbow tucked in tight. It's not something where he can't get some real quote-unquote swing freedom through the ball. And, man, that's what he does. He takes it back cross-court. He kind of takes it right back from the line that it was coming in. This is something else to think about, too. You've played your serve. Here comes the return. And we can see the line that the return is taking, right? So the return starting here in terms of contact and is coming along this line here. Well, I think too many players want to take this and change the angle and go from this line here to creating a line that ends up over there. Pretty tough on this short ball. And all Larry does is create spatial distance along that line and then just basically takes it back up the same line. But he's got some good spacing right at contact where swing freedom is now a possibility. Too often, I see, rather than the ball being here, I see the ball maybe right about in here. It's a little bit closer. And what that does is it just kind of gums up. It just gets in the way of being able to really be able to have some flow through the ball. And look, it looks pretty clean to me. Right? And there you go. So I want you to be thinking about that today or the next time you're on the court. Create more spacing to the path of that incoming ball than maybe what you normally do so that at contact, you get to just let it go. See, with this contact point here, you can let the racket go. You don't have to kind of work it and manipulate it. And there you have it. All right, I'm going to play this in real time, and then I'll do a slow-mo version. Would love to read down below what's on your mind from today's episode of What's the Right Shot. Also, down below, there is a link that will take you over to my forehand offensive rally ball course. And one of the things that I want to show you is this is really more of yes, it's a rally ball, but it is also a ball that we play a lot of times where it's relatively short, right? We can't stand back here behind the baseline to play it. I mean, we could, but the ball would just drop too low. So what do? We end up inside the baseline, and this is a spot in the court where I want you to feel that you can play an offensive topspin forehand. It may not end up as a winner like this one is from Larry, but I want you to get that sense that you can actually drive your topper forehand from inside the baseline. And that's the intention. You can go to, from one corner to the other corner, you can go right back at that player. But if you go to the corner, there's always a chance when you look up that, whoa, I better approach on this thing. So down below, there is a link. Click it and take a peek at what's inside my topspin forehand offensive rally ball course. Guys, that is it for me today. Time for all of us. We got to get out there. Help another human being have a spectacular day. Guys, let's do this again tomorrow. Well, hi, it is Brent back here with you. Really hope you enjoyed this episode of What's the Right Shot. What I've got for you down below is a link that will take you to the information page about a course I've got that's going to show you what are the 3 habits that you've really got to build so that you can offensively drive a topspin forehand rally ball, and especially to be able to do that from a foot or two inside the baseline and do it without risking an unforced error. Right down below is the link to that information page. Go ahead and click it.